The cause of sudden infant death syndrome, SIDS, is still unknown. A local chiropractor who's been personally touched by SIDS hopes a new study can find what's behind the mysterious syndrome. Tracy Egan is here to tell us more about that. Tracy.
SIDS is blamed for nearly 6,000 deaths a year. Most of those victims are between 1 month and 12 months old. Clifton Park chiropractor Crane Warenberg, when he was a child, he lost his baby brother to SIDS, so he's highly motivated to find out what's behind it. Because the number of SIDS deaths dropped dramatically once the American Academy of Pediatricians started to recommend babies sleep on their backs, Warenberg was encouraged to conduct a study to see if spinal misalignments are related to sudden infant death.
Our theory is that when the atlas, the first bone in the neck, is misaligned, that can cause irritation to the nerve system and specifically the brainstem.
Dr. Warenberg says he researched more than 100 medical papers that point to the brainstem as the area that malfunctions when SIDS strikes. He hopes to find out whether keeping the atlas aligned protects against SIDS.
How did we know how to adjust her with that?
From the pictures that we took the other day, we determined the misalignment of the atlas, and we can see exactly how it's misaligned and how it needs to be replaced.
Dave and Christine Taylor brought their infant Rory to the chiropractor because the baby had a traumatic birth.
You can see that it's gone higher on the right by 4 millimeters.
A vibrational energy wave performs the delicate adjustment.
Okay, honey. All right, okay, good. That's it. It's a percussion instrument, so there's no force that goes into the skin. The stylus of the instrument comes in right at the atlas, the first bone in the neck, and as that impulse is given, it corrects that misalignment and brings that back down level and reduces the misalignment between the head, the neck, and the atlas.
I think if there is a way to prevent SIDS, that everybody should have their infants checked right from the beginning.
Dr. Warenberg says it's tough to prove prevention, but he's convinced that spinal alignment is key because of the lowered incidence of SIDS since the time parents were made aware to put babies on their backs to sleep.
In our opinion, changing the posture from the infant sleeping on their stomach where they have to have their head turned, the spine is torqued, causing more irritation of the brainstem. The incidence of SIDS has decreased by 40%.
Now, in the double-blind study, a neurologist at Glens Falls Hospital will conduct a so-called Bayer test, a test of the brain auditory evoked response. That's the hearing test. The next day, the infant will be examined by Dr. Warenberg, who will, if he finds a need for adjustment, give the baby that vibrational treatment we just saw baby Rory undergo. The day after that, the baby will go back to the neurologist, who will note whether the baby's hearing has improved or not. To take part in the study, you can contact Dr. Warenberg at Specific Chiropractic in Clifton Park.
News 10 is sponsored by Culligan. Terry McSweeney, Elisa Streeter, Chief Meteorologist Steve Caparizzo, and Dan Murphy with sports. News 10 at 6 continues.
As parents try to find alternatives to antibiotic treatments and a more natural way to treat their children, they are turning to an alternative medicine that's been around for more than 100 years.
Tracy Egan is here with a look at why more and more kids are going to the chiropractor.
What we found is that chiropractic isn't just for adults anymore. Parents are bringing very young children, even infants, to the chiropractor because they find the non-invasive therapy is often beneficial.
Okay, we are doing good.
Christine and Dave Taylor rave about the healthy development of 15-month-old Rory, and they believe she stays healthier when she makes regular visits to Dr. Craig Warenberg in Clifton Park.
She didn't have colic. She was just always very, very healthy child. And I think a lot of it has to do with the chiropractic care she had.
Last March, they brought Rory to Dr. Warenberg because she'd had a traumatic birth, and the first bone in the neck, the atlas, was misaligned.
The stylus of the instrument comes in right at the atlas, the first bone in the neck, and as that impulse is given, it corrects that misalignment and brings that back down level and reduces the misalignment of the neck and the atlas.
Dr. Warenberg showed us videotape that he says demonstrates what a dramatic difference chiropractic can make. This infant began having seizures following a difficult birth. But after adjustment by the chiropractor, we're told the infantile seizures stop.
How long is he gone without a seizure?
3.5 weeks.
Dr. Warenberg says there's a long list of medical problems in children that can be helped by chiropractic, including earaches, allergies, and headaches.
A lot of people are surprised to hear that, ear infections, bedwetting, things like that, how can that be related? But it all goes back to the nerve system because the matter in every organ is under direct control of the nerve system.
Rory's mom is certainly convinced.
I would recommend it for any baby. She, as a newborn, she did it fine without crying, and she does it fine now. It's very easy, and there's no reason not to because you're so healthy.
Tonight on News 10 at 11, my Medical Breakthroughs report will look at why parents who started bringing their children in for chiropractic as infants or toddlers often continue to bring them in for adjustments during adolescence. To learn more about chiropractic and review this story, go to WTEN.com and click on Medical Breakthroughs.
Chiropractors say that more and more of their adult patients are bringing their children in for adjustments of the spinal column.
In this special Medical Breakthroughs report, Tracy Egan looks at why so many parents are choosing chiropractic for their kids.
That is a little tight.
Paula Davis has been bringing 14-year-old Josh and 13-year-old Kyle to the chiropractor since they were little kids, and Josh never slept longer than 3 hours at a time.
He began sleeping much longer lengths of time, more restful sleep, and so he seemed much better all the way around with all of his sleeping patterns that changed after chiropractic.
And come on up and face that way again.
When you get back up, everything's looser, you're not as tight.
Paula says chiropractic keeps Kyle's allergies under control. Dr. Craig Warenberg says chiropractic can also help childhood problems such as earaches, bedwetting, and headaches. What's the most common misconception that people have about chiropractic for children?
Well, probably one that it's rough, that it hurts them. It's very safe, very non-invasive, very effective. And the fact that the nerve system controls everything in the body. And when the spine is out of balance, that can have a big effect on the nerve system.
Well, you can't really feel anything when he does it, but they put it around there and it just clicks and you don't really feel much.
18-month-old Tyler McLaughlin started coming to the chiropractor 6 months ago. His parents hoped it would clear up his chronic ear infections.
We tried it out, and he hasn't had an ear infection in the last probably 7 months or 6 months since he started doing the treatments.
Dr. Warenberg recommends children come in for some type of maintenance program every month or two, or more frequently if they fall.
Our passion is seeing children because they're the most fun to adjust, and their symptoms really respond dramatically.
Tracy Egan, News 10 Medical Breakthroughs.
To learn more about chiropractic, go to WTEN.com and click on Medical Breakthroughs.